Hello, welcome to episode 16, Making Connections in the Startup World.
Welcome to the PR Playbook podcast with Ranjini Joshua, the only podcast that teaches you how to strategically navigate the world of public relations and social media and grow a powerful brand.
Welcome to episode 16. As we all know, networking connections are critical when it comes to building your business as a startup. The more connections you have, the more opportunities there are. Whether you're building a startup locally or globally, a trusted source is awesome to have. Startup Grind is one of the world's largest communities for entrepreneurs. And in my interview today is with Hassan Zulfikar, Chapter Director of Startup Grind and the CEO of Startups Empowering Platform, Founders Push, and a regional partner of Startup World Cup, and more than that as well. So Hassan is a great contact to have just because his network is so wide. Hello, Hassan. Thank you for joining me today on the PR Playbook podcast. How are you doing?
Hello, Ranjini. Thank you so much for the great introduction, and I'm doing great. Actually, all the designations which you have mentioned, in short, it's more like an ecosystem enabling. So we say yes to every single thing wherever it comes to the ecosystem enabling.
Awesome. So since we're recording in this time of deep uncertainty, what have your conversations with other entrepreneurs been like on the outlook of startups in general over 2020?
Well, definitely, coronavirus and the situation, it's really worse. And, every single occupation, including the entrepreneurship, it's affected in a worse manner. So, for example, in Asia, in Pakistan, in China, the companies, the incubation centers, the co-working spaces, everything is shut down now, right? But if we actually see, then there is an opportunity in disguise. I would love to mention here that if you go through some stats right now regarding the coronavirus, then you would get to know that it is actually affecting some industries in the worst manner, but it is also an opportunity for some other industries as well. Like for the travel industry, it's a big loss for them. But on the other hand, in China, in Italy, the e-commerce industry is raising by 50%, 30% of the consumers are using e-commerce right now. So it is the best opportunity for the e-commerce platforms to actually make their name, even for the online food platforms. Like
we actually have a client that has an online food delivery service that has grown 500% over the last month.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. That's what I was talking about. So all you have to see that, you have to find the value in this kind of worst situation, right? So all you have to do is to find the creative options, find the creative values. Like, for example, I am from Startup Grind. We got the newsletter from our Startup Grind, main headquarters that you have to utilize this, this is a situation because we do the monthly events in Startup Grind, and because of this kind of environment, we cannot do the monthly events right now. And so this time I am doing a podcast instead of hosting somebody. I'm being the guest right now.
Right.
But this is what we can actually do. So this is the time when we can have the virtual conferences, virtual events, and and the people who are working in augmented reality, virtual reality, for them, this is the opportunity to actually utilize that for the events as well as for the conferences.
Yeah, I mean that's a good leadway into the kind of the next question, but also just a thought I had also, what are some of the things that you're seeing, and maybe how is Startup Grind handling just putting on a virtual events? Obviously, it's not something everyone thought we would have to do, but it is opening up a whole new segment of communication and collaboration. And I feel like a lot of people who are business are, doing a lot more Zoom calls and Skype meetings, and they're feeling actually more connected than they used to be. What are you finding as far as how you're transitioning your community to a digital format? I mean, I think you guys were pretty digital before, but what kind of tools are you using to digitize some of these events, the monthly events that you guys used to have?
So I would like to mention here that the people have the opportunity to get interacted with each other through LinkedIn. And the LinkedIn is right now a best platform for me as well as for the entrepreneurs, because people are not busy in the physical activities nowadays.
Right.
And that's how, they are very much responsive. They are very much, I'm actually getting instant responses from every part of the world on LinkedIn, on emails and all that, because that's where they are 24/7, right?
Yeah.
So and on if I talk about Startup Grind, so Startup Grind has, definitely, even it's a difficult situation for Startup Grind as well, but we are trying to cater it through the online, through the virtual events. We used actually Facebook. We use Facebook, online, as well as the other options. So LinkedIn is used for inviting on the event, but it's actually it's very much dependent on the location, because for example, somewhere the Twitter is on the boom, and in Asia, in Pakistan, it's Facebook. So we in Pakistan, actually, we use specifically Facebook to launch the event, because many and most of the people are using Facebook here.
When you're talking about Facebook, are you talking about Facebook Live specifically, or just any video?
So Facebook Live is the best option, which we utilize, right? So, but yeah, definitely we share the recorded videos. Startup Grind, as you know, is already very digital, and we always, send the recorded videos on the YouTube channels. All of our videos are on YouTube channels. So even my videos from Startup Grind Islamabad and all, so they are on YouTube channels as well. So, it's just an addition to those recorded videos that we provide. We are providing the live videos as well this time.
And just as a kind of an added question, just personally, are you? I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and this is something I kind of always do, but just listening to other people and how they're communicating right now. And I'm seeing a lot of really interesting ways that people are collaborating and having their meetings, because a lot of people are working from home for the first time. And this is kind of the general business population, not just entrepreneurs and startups, which may be a little bit more used to the remote work space. But are you finding that people are more more interested in doing video chats, or maybe Slack chats or things like that, where you guys can really interact a little bit more heavily?
Well, what I would say is that, as I mentioned you in the last question about the LinkedIn thing. So right now, every single way, whatever, which is to avoid physical contact and to achieve the goals, right? So every single means of communication has been utilized. So either it's, WhatsApp call, either it's a group call, conference call, Zoom call, or if you, because right now I'm using directly the WhatsApp call, Skype and something, right? So I'm in touch with the co-working spaces from Barcelona, from Berlin, and they all are, in an instant, they are ready to have a call on the very next day, right? Yeah. Just because they are, they are all of their businesses, every single thing is right now on the basis of the online communication.
Yeah. Well, I know you're a pretty successful business person yourself, obviously. I mean, how is this kind of temperature affecting your personal businesses, and how do you feel? Like, what is your outlook, your personal outlook on the next few months and maybe just 2020 overall?
Well, quite frankly, actually, it's it's affecting my business as well.
Yeah.
My platform, Founders Push, we actually do some programs in all over the world internationally. Like we did a program in Silicon Valley, then we did a program in London. Now, recently, we did a program in Barcelona and Berlin to empower the founders, to link them with the right opportunities over there. And the upcoming program was in May in Silicon Valley. Sure. And you can say 7 days before, I got the message from Startup World Cup, the main organization, because as a regional partner, I was bringing the people from Pakistan, founders from Pakistan, to start a World Cup. But it's all wrapped up. It's all postponed just because of the coronavirus. And my entire program, I have to reevaluate. I cannot mention the dates right now. I cannot do the campaign. I cannot run the digital campaign because of this time, right? So, and even, but I am trying to tackle it somehow. I am trying to find the way through which, I do the campaign by mentioning a tentative date instead of the fixed date.
Right.
And then we can, for example, like I'm going to do I'm going to mention July, right? 1st of July or something. So if we, which we are very hopeful that the situation gets better, then we will do the event on 1st of July. Otherwise, we have to postpone it again. So this is the situation. We have to handle it somehow.
Yeah, I think it's important for people to see a light at the end of the tunnel where, there's prospective dates where we might be able to do things. But it's also important to keep people engaged, in conversations somehow during this time. And I think we're all kind of navigating that piece. I really like talking to you and getting your perspective because you really have a more global look on this. I mean, I know you travel quite a bit and, I met you in Spain. So that says a lot right there. But I think it's really an interesting time for everybody. Like this is a crazy global phenomenon that is happening and we're all navigating through it. But I know most of us are just trying to be proactive, especially as founders and entrepreneurs and startup people. We're all looking for how do we move forward the best way. What are 3 pieces of advice you can give to founders that are maybe starting something new or even just, trying to continue what they're doing right now? Where should their focus be so that it can be successful?
Well, okay. So specifically for the founders and the entrepreneurs, what I would say is don't jump into the 2 boats, right? Focus on one thing. Give your best to that. Even what I learned from Founder Institute, I was the alumni of Founder Institute. And, what I learned from them is that go into that kind of business where where you're very sure that you can spend 20 years of your life, right? So it's all about your passion. So don't just think about the scope of the business. Don't just think about the how much money this business has. You have to, because as an entrepreneur, it's always about the DNA. It's always about the passion. So this is the first thing which I would like to say. So the second thing is that, for entrepreneurs, for the startups and all, the best thing is to have a good network, right? So network is very much powerful, even more powerful than money. So you should actually interact with everybody. It's not, so one thing is that you should interact, either it's physical or, online or any other way. And the other thing is that when you have a big network, then try to focus your network, then try to, I would say, optimize your network, right? And see that, okay, who are relevant to you? Who are those kind of, either they are investors, either they are ecosystem enablers, but try to narrow that network of yours and focus on that, right? So I believe these are from my side as per my experience. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So last but not least, I'd love for you to do a quick plug. Obviously, this is all about networking. And right now we need it more than ever. Since you're in so many different areas, let the listeners know where they can find you on the web or anything that you're working on right now where people should be able to, who should come and network and interact. Anything that you're looking for. I think, I know you work, again, a lot with startup companies. So, working with VCs and startups and investors and media is kind of a regular thing for you. Where can people find you and what should they be looking for?
Okay, for sure. Well, actually, you can have a look for the entire business, entire program which we have done recently on founderspush.org. Right. This is on my website. And apart from that, you can actually see me on Hassan Zulfikar, Startup Grind. If you write on Google, you can have a look about me, about my bio, about my profile. But the thing which we are doing right now, which we are focused on, is in specifically in my country, when the first thing I noticed was that people do not have too many opportunities. They do have the startups, they do have some mature startups, but they don't have the opportunity to get in touch with the right network, right collaborations, right partner opportunities. Right. And so I have some success stories in my recent program. Like, for example, I brought the startups to London, and they came back with the agreements with the robotic companies to do their business development in their own country. Right. So these kind of and there was another company. It was also from education technology, and I have linked them with another company, another NPO. And because they were looking for expanding in London. So that was the perfect collaboration for them, because that NPO has already 50 schools on board. So, these kind of collaborations, these kind of partnerships, which we are focused on. And now, this kind of, right now we are actually proceeding, and we are trying to expand. We are onboarding the founders from Europe as well. The last visit of mine in Spain, in Barcelona, in Berlin, Germany. So, I have done some collaborations. I have done some agreements with the incubation centers, co-working spaces. The main focus is to onboard them to actually share this opportunity, share this program with their founders as well, right? So this is the focus. All those kind of founders who are looking for that kind of network where they can utilize for the collaborations, partnerships, investment, or to meet with the ecosystem enablers. So that's where our program comes, right? So this is something which we are working on. And on the other hand, we are actually doing a VCs pool in which we are onboarding some VCs. So whenever we find a potential founder, so we can link that potential founder with the VC, relevant VC. For example, if there is a fintech founder, we will link that fintech founder with the fintech VC specifically. So this is something we are working on.
Okay, great. And we'll definitely have all these links and everything in the show notes so that everybody can access them.
For sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to record this with me. And I'm so glad to have a global perspective on this. So I appreciate you joining us today.
Thanks to you, Ranjini. And, before we wrap up, I would love to say that, you have done the program in Barcelona within no time after the cancellation of MWC. And, it was, as I always, even I have told you in the last call, that it was like a phoenix. So, keep on doing that, keep on bringing these kind of options so people can be part of these kind of events through you, and so through the collaborations, whatever possible.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need it more now than ever, right?
Absolutely.
So as usual, if you have any questions, please send us comments, questions, or suggestions to podcast@thesilvertelegram.com. You'll find additional information on Hassan, Founders Push, and Startup Grind on the show website with show notes. And that's all for now. Stay safe, healthy, and connected. See you next week.